Ladies and gentlemen, I am so excited to bring you today's review because today we're going to be reviewing the brand new David Cornsweet Inart Superman prototype, bro. You heard me right, this figure is not out yet, but Inart was kind enough to give me a prototype of their brand new figure to cover for you guys and see what they've got cooking up for you guys in the future if you plan on purchasing this figure. I am extremely grateful and honored to be reviewing a prototype. I never thought I would get the opportunity, and I'm super excited to get into this. And just know now, it's an insane review, and oh shoot, I think we have Krypto.
Where's the dog?
Because this is a prototype, there is no finalized box art, but I want to mention if you want to pre-order your own Inart Superman, you can do so at Pop Collectibles. That's where I'm getting mine. As soon as we open the box, the first thing we are greeted with is actually a wired cape, which don't worry, we will be trying this out a little bit later, but underneath that, this is where we get to the figure and all of its accessories, man. I want to grab this suit out right away so we can shut down all of the rumors about the suit being not vibrant. I don't know why people think this suit isn't vibrant. I mean, you can see the colors on camera right now. It is popping out $1,000,000 just like it did in the movie. Of course, he is headless, so I do want to start getting these head sculpts out because I'm super excited to see these in person. He does come with two, and we're going to open this one first. I can't tell which one it is, and it is actually going to be the eyes closed head sculpt. If you've had any Inart release, you know their head sculpts are absolutely phenomenal, and this one looks spot on to the movie. The paint applications, the hair texture, the expression alone is what's selling me so much right here. We'll take a closer look at this later, but I do want to get the second head sculpt out now, which is of course going to be the neutral eyes open head sculpt. And I've got to say, man, this is genuinely impressive on Inart's part. It looks just like David Cornsweet, all the way from the cheekbones that you can see protruding through to the jawline. I mean, both of these sculpts are masterclass in paint applications. And if these are indicative of what we're going to get at the release of this figure, you guys are in for a treat because these are honestly insane. But enough talking about floating heads. Let's actually put this on the figure itself and see what it looks like when it all comes together. And man, dude, Inart always blows me away. I mean, last time we were reviewing their Michael Jackson, and I thought it couldn't get better, but this Superman figure is genuinely breathtaking in person. I don't know what it is. I really think these vibrant colors are what's getting me right now. It genuinely just pops out so much. But enough glazing. Let's take a look at some of the accessories, and the first ones up are actually these flight boots. And bro, I love flight boots. These actually remind me of the boots that come with the animated Superman figure that I reviewed like last October, I believe. And honestly, flight boots are just a genius idea in my opinion because they don't put any stress on the boots and you can keep them on him 24/7 without stressing material. And of course, the hands. We've got to talk about the hands. These might be some of the most realistic paint applications I've ever seen on any hands before. Inart keeps upping up their game with the paint applications. Now, the next accessory I was actually a little bit apprehensive on because I saw Krypto was fully sculpted as a statue and I was a little bit disappointed. I wanted him to have some joints maybe at the head or the legs, but getting this out, I understand completely why they went the sculpted route. They are able to get so much detail on the fur and the face sculpt. I mean, genuinely, this has really won me over already. And on the bright side, you can pose the wired cape to make it look a little bit more dynamic as if he's landing or, you know, he's about to take off. So I definitely think this gets the job done. And this is definitely the most realistic 1/6 scale dog I've ever seen. But next up after that is going to be the display base, which is honestly simple but amazing. I think that's the best way I can put it. It's nothing crazy, but it gets the job done. It looks like the Fortress of Solitude. You can even cover up the little peg, so if you want to have the base fully seamless, you can. It has some really cool ice texture underneath of it, and overall they absolutely killed the snow texture. It looks like real snow. Now I want to lay out all the accessories you get with this thing and talk about, is it worth it? In my opinion, I believe these are all of the accessories they plan to give you at launch, so I don't think anything new will be coming unless they make an announcement. The first thing you're getting is of course the beautiful David Cornsweet Superman with these insane proportions, the insane head sculpt, and the beautiful vibrant colors. I mean, this is obviously why you're buying it, and they absolutely delivered on all fronts here. I honestly don't have any complaints. The articulation itself honestly isn't bad for a 1/6 scale Superman figure with this much, you know, rubberized material. You're definitely going to be able to get most of the poses that you want to do off. As for longevity of the material, I don't really see creases when I pose this thing, which is a really good sign. I left it posed for quite a while and I didn't notice anything, so I hope this is a figure that's safe to pose for a while because I know a lot of you are going to want to go crazy with your David Cornsweet poses. But enough about that. We're going to pose him very soon. The next accessory you get is of course going to be the eyes closed head sculpt, which I know there's a lot of controversy about this thing and we'll get into that a little bit later, but I want to say again, Inart has won me over with this and it is an absolutely beautiful head sculpt. After that, you of course are getting a swap out wired cape, which we will take a look at very, very soon. And then of course you're getting the flight boots, which are just ingenious, man. I'm so glad that they included these so you don't have to stress out the actual boots on the figure. And when I put these on, you're going to see just how convincing these really look on the figure. And you get a display base, and the display base is what I would call a 10 out of 10. It's not too much, it's not too little. It gets gets the job done. It definitely fits the part. Like, you know exactly what this is supposed to resemble. And as you can tell, for size, it's not too big at all, so it's not going to take too much space in your display, thankfully. And then the next accessory is, of course, going to be Krypto, which honestly, he can sort of make this a two-pack because Krypto is a character himself, and it's masterfully done. The sculpting on the hair and the head sculpt, I am really impressed by this thing. So yes, I love everything this guy comes with. In my opinion, it is absolutely worth it. Now, enough talking about accessories. Let's just pose them up right here with Krypto and look at how good these two look together. I mean, the fact that Inart was able to get this prototype out this quickly shows how good they are at what they do. Really want to touch on the proportions right here. I was a little bit worried in the promo photos, but honestly, I think they killed it. He's big, he's blocky, just like he was in the movie. In my opinion, the most impressive thing about the figure is, of course, going to be the head sculpt. That is David Cornsweet through and through. I have no complaints with the likeness. The skin texture is insane, and of course, you get the other swap out head sculpt. Now, the point of controversy is people really wanted some other head sculpts, like a smiling one or even a laser sculpting one, and I completely understand the complaint. I was in the same boat until I saw this sculpt in person. I know this video has been a glaze fest, but it's hard not to. The way that this sculpt expresses emotion, I have never seen on a head sculpt before. You can see it with the eyebrow furrow. You can genuinely see the pain in his face, which is crazy to say about a figure. I would still love for some extra sculpts, like a laser one, an angry one, a smiling one, don't get me wrong, but this one carries its own weight. It is not a slacker. Don't sleep on this. If you get this figure, when you get it in person, you will see exactly what I mean. The sculpt work is just, it's masterfully done here. Now, next up, of course, I had to do it. I had to pair up my favorite Superman, Henry Cavill's Superman, with David Cornsweet. These are both of the Supermans that Inart has made. You can get the Henry Cavill one today. And well, they're both very, very impressive figures. Obviously, I'm biased towards Henry Cavill. I do prefer Henry Cavill's suit, but if we're going figure for figure, it's hard to say that the Henry Cavill one is better. I'm not going to lie. Now, keep in mind, this is a prototype, so if things change at release, then it may change. But if this Superman releases in this state that Inart has supplied it, this will be the better figure. The head sculpt has a better likeness, in my opinion. The body has more accurate proportions. The colors are extremely accurate. You're getting an absolutely beautiful, you know, eyes closed head sculpt. And I don't say any of that to put down the Henry Cavill figure. I'm just saying overall as a product, Inart has almost done a 10 out of 10 with every single thing that David Cornsweet Superman figure comes with. Whereas with the Henry Cavill Superman, I had a few complaints with my boots peeling, and the Henry Cavill head sculpt could be a bit better on the neutral one. So that's just my opinion. Now, of course, I had to do some flight poses because the display base works the same way as the Inart Superman. You can plug him up through the back and have him floating, and now you get to see these awesome flight boots. I hope you see why I love them so much. They honestly help the pose so much better. I mean, look at it. He literally has nothing crazy going on, but because the flight boots are pointing down, it just sells the pose so much. And I just realized I haven't actually utilized the rolling eyeball, so let's go ahead and do that. You, of course, can change the direction that he's looking, and honestly, I think from this angle, David Cornsweet comes out a little bit more. I don't know what it is, but this sculpt continues to impress. And as you all know, I'm not a huge poser, so this is definitely something like how I'm gonna have him posed in my own display, but I want to get a little bit more dynamic for you guys wondering what this figure can really do. So here he is in a pose, maybe about a punch, about to take off. Again, this is where I think a more expressive head sculpt would really come in handy because it is very neutral, but I still think you can get off a pretty convincing display, especially with Krypto on the base about to take off as well. And I am using the wired cape. As you can see, I had a little bit of trouble with the top part, so I wasn't able to push it down, but that's just because I'm not good with wired capes. But the cape itself, it looks great. As you can see, it looks like it's blowing in the wind. It adds a lot of presence to each pose that I put him in. In this pose, he literally just looks like he's slightly hovering off the ground, and he still holds such presence. Now, we're 8 minutes into the review, and I know it's just been a huge glaze fest, and you guys are wondering, am I going to point out any flaws? And I'm not gonna lie, it's really hard. This figure is genuinely that impressive, especially for a prototype. But as for things that I would like to see improved in the future, honestly, I would like to see some improved articulation if that's possible, mainly in the leg and the arm area. I feel like the torso area is pretty serviceable. Of course, as I mentioned before, I would love to see maybe just one more head sculpt added to give us more options with posing, maybe a laser head sculpt or an angry head sculpt. But outside of those two very minor complaints, if this is what we are getting at release, at mass production, this very well might be the best Superman figure ever created. It is genuinely a marvel that they were able to get this out this quick. And if you're a fan of the brand new Superman movie, this figure is a no-brainer. It will probably be a grail in your collection, so I highly recommend pre-ordering it at Pop Collectibles today. I have to say a huge thank you to Inart for sending me this prototype to review, and thank you all for sticking to the end and watching it. I would love to know your thoughts on this figure down below in the comments. I hope you have a blessed day, everybody. Praise God, and I'll see you in the next video.